Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Boujraii here, and we have a very spooky story time today. Next order of business, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, please. If you're a returning viewer and you still haven't subscribed, why? Why not? Like, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is about me that makes you return to watch the videos but not subscribe. But if you like me and you like my content, join the family. Hit the subscribe button. Do it. So this story takes place back when I was about 17. And it takes place in Pittsburgh at my mother's house. So we're going to go over some background. Yeah, I know I got to give a little bit of backstory. I got to let y'all know time, place, what was going on. And then we're going to get into it. So I was 17 at the time, and my mother had moved us, if you're from Pittsburgh, she moved us from the west side to Turtle Creek, okay? And Turtle Creek in Pittsburgh is like the west side. The west side's more city. Turtle Creek's more out of the city. It's not even like the suburbs per se. Like, I guess it could be the suburb, but it's just not within the inner city. And she moved us to a house that was older. It was a two-family home, so there was a home downstairs and a home upstairs. The home downstairs had a bathroom, living room, bedroom, kitchen. Upstairs then there was a basement. So there was the basement, the first level, second level where our half bath, living room, and kitchen was, and then third level. The third levels had 3 bedrooms and a full bathroom. So all in all, it's like 4 floors, if you may, but one of them is a basement. So we got the logistics of the house set out. There was 2 doors downstairs to get into the house. You can come in through the basement. Through the basement had a garage door, so you can come in through the garage door in the basement. You can come in the side. You can come in the front. Then there's a back door. Only ways to get in the house, okay? The only ways in, only ways out. Like, why did we move? But, yeah. So we get to where we're going, and stuff starts happening, right? So we would all be asleep on the second level living room, which was the kids' house. So I'll say the kids' house or the kids' floor, and then I'll say my mom's floor. So we were all on the kids' floor, and like one time I remember we were all there, and my brother would always say like he would hear stuff, or he just like, he would be up all night. He was nocturnal, and he would say he would hear stuff and whatnot when we were all asleep. And the one night, me and him, and I think my cousin and like my little sister, maybe, we were up, and like a suitcase came flying down the steps, and nobody was upstairs where the bedrooms were. We were all down on the main level because we were watching a movie, and my mom was downstairs in the basement. And we were like, where the heck did that suitcase come from? Because there was no suitcase like at the top of the steps. So that was like one weird thing that happened. But you know, like, I think my mom tried to make us feel better about it, and we brushed it off. But I started to realize like I did not like being home alone, or I did not like being upstairs by myself. Like, at this time, my little sister was born, so it was the summer. School was out, and my mother had to go back to the hospital. She had some complications with her with the birth of my little sister that landed her back into the hospital after they came home. Like right after they came home, she had to go back, you know. And when I say this, like, my little sister was probably a week old. So me, my stepfather, and my little brother, and my other little sister. So I have a little sister, we're going to call her Jay, and we have a little sister, we're going to call her Na. My little sister Na was only a week old. My little sister Jay was a year old. So my stepdad, the one night we're sitting on the couch, and I have the baby, the youngest baby, helping with her because she was so little. Was feeding her on the couch, and my little sister was coming up the steps, following my stepdad up the steps. And my stepfather's, like, my little sister starts crying out of nowhere. Now it's dark on the step thing. So she starts making if you have kids, or even if you don't, you know, they have different cries. she makes the hurt cry, like as if she's hurting. So we're thinking she stepped on something, like something was on the step and she stepped on it. So my stepdad turns around like, what's wrong? And like he's looking at her and she's crawling in the air. Y'all, believe me, don't believe me, is up to you, but I'm telling the truth. She was mid-air crawling. So it was like as if she was crawling and somebody was holding her. And I can't even tell the story, y'all. I can't even tell the story because it's choking me up. So my stepfather rushes down the steps and grabs her. And like he had to pull her and he comes up the steps and he's frantic. I seen what just happened. So I'm looking like I'm ready to bust out in tears. Get me the hell up out this house. I don't want to be here anymore. Where's my mother? Bring her home. I don't want to be here anymore. What just happened? And he was like, I knew there was something in this house. Da, 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 da. But in my head, I thought that entities and things were not supposed to mess with children. So I was like, she's one. Like, I thought they couldn't mess with children. She's one. And at the times when that movie, The Omen, came out, and like, oh, sorry, I definitely started to feel a breeze and I had to go check on my son. I'm telling y'all, like, this stuff, I'm not making it up, I promise you. Like, really, you can't make shit up like this. But so my stepdad, he was like, I knew something was in the house. And my stepdad is from Guyana. A lot of Caribbean people do believe in, you know, like spirits and things of that nature. So he was like, I knew something was in here. I knew something was wrong. I keep telling your mom that, like, you know, he's a little upset. And then he's like, we're talking. I'm like, I thought they're not supposed to mess with children. Da, da, da. He was like, they're not. And as we're talking, the music just comes on. Like the surround sound just turns on by itself and it starts playing Lucifer. Could have checked me out that house. But, you know, I had to stay there. So I did stay. And my stepdad, I think that night we all slept upstairs in the living room or something. I don't remember. But, you know, time goes on. Things go on. My mom was in the hospital for a while. So time went on and my stepfather used to go to the hospital and see my mom and during the day. And so the thing that he worked out was he was going to go during the day and he would leave my little sister with me. He would take the baby with him, the youngest baby. He would take her with him, but he would leave Jay with us. And when he would leave Jay with us, you know, like I was the oldest, so I would watch him. My other brother was 14. Watch her. And he was always like, he'll be back before it gets dark. So it's summertime. It gets dark at like, 8, 9 o'clock. But he would get back before the sun even went down. So he would go, let's say, from like 10 in the morning to like 2, 3 in the afternoon. And then he would come home. So this particular day, he goes and, you know, he went the day before and nothing was wrong. Like he had been going and there was no issue. So this time he goes and it's starting to get a little dusk. What are you doing, sir? Why are you being weird to us? You said you was going to be home before it started getting dark. I told y'all our house was already dark. So the sun starting to set a little is making it even more dark, and I'm not trying to be here when the sun sets, so not alone anyway. So I started calling him and I'm like, hey, when are you coming back? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna be back, like your mom had like to have some extra tests and stuff today, so I stayed a little longer today. Okay, you know, it's my mother and can't be upset. So me and my little brother are sitting in the living room and we're sitting there, we're watching TV, the TV with the baby. And I think at the time, like, that's when like Little Baby Bum and stuff was like a big thing before Cocomelon Girl. Whatever we was watching it. Okay. So we're all down in the kids' living room, So remind you, nobody's home. and we hear somebody knock at the door. Now, stranger danger. We not allowed to open that door for nobody when parents ain't home, 17 or not. Sis ain't have no gun on her. I ain't open the door for nobody. Like, we hear a knock at the door, and I go out the balcony, because the balcony was upstairs on our level, okay? And it overlooked. But the thing was, when you were on the balcony, you couldn't see who was right under you, because the porch was here for the first level, and our balcony was right on top of it. So the only thing you could see is like cars, if there was a car parked, or I could see when somebody was coming out from under the porch. So I'm trying to look. I don't see nobody. I don't see no car. So I go to look out our side window to see if I see somebody down by the side door. I don't see anybody. I don't see a car. I don't see, you know, like if it was like, let's say somebody coming for a utility or something, like I didn't see them. I ain't see no car. And so I call my stepdad, and I'm like, hey, is somebody supposed to be coming over here? And he's like, no, why? And I was like, the door downstairs. And he was like, ain't nobody supposed to be there. Hold on. Go. He's like telling me where to go to look. And as I go to do that, our living room TV turns to static. Like, it's just like, you know, that loud static where it's like, it turns to that. It scares the living daylights out of me, because if y'all don't know, I associate that noise and that picture. I hate it. Ever since I was a kid, when we had the little TVs with the clicker knob and you got to hit it to get a picture. I was watching one of Voodoo Child's tribe teas, and she was saying like that they can, entities can be drawn through like the radio and that static in the TV and whatever. And I think I felt that as a child, because I hated that noise. So when that happened and it's loud, because we were just watching TV, I'm like jumping. So I'm on the phone with my stepdad, because it was cable TV. Like, how the hell did it even go to static? We don't have analog. Is that what it was called? Analog? I don't know, but we don't have local TV. Like, what is going on? And my stepdad was like, so I asked my stepdad, I was like, did our cable get cut off or something? Was that like the cable guy cutting our cable off? And he was like, that's not how it works. They don't come out to do that. Like, they would do that over the phone. But no, our cable's not cut off. I don't know who that was. And honestly, there was no cable truck. Like, I didn't see a cable truck. The only thing I think is if they parked somewhere else, or if they parked right in front of the house, like under both awnings near the like garage. I might not have been able to see it, but I never seen anybody pull off either. To this day, it's a mystery, okay? But at this point, I'm like, sir, you need to come home. You need to come home. Because if you not, me and your daughter are about to get in the car with somebody else. Because I'm not about to do it. So at this point, I'm like scared. And on top of that, we don't want to leave the house because, oh, my mom's thing, she didn't give us keys. We didn't have keys when I was little. Like, the kids' keys, because she had this thing. If somebody lost it, they can get in our house. How the fuck they gonna know it's our key? But whatever. That was her thing against keys. At this point, I'm like, sir, cut the shits. Come home. Come home. Mommy's gonna have to be okay, because we not okay. Like, and at the time, like, you know, I didn't really know what was going on, but it was serious. So I should have been a little more, but I was definitely on the phone. Like, can you please come home? And he was like, I'll be home. And he was like, all right, I'm about to come home. So me and him get off the phone. And here's when shit gets real. So me and my little brother are sitting there, and I think my little brother like brought just decided to bring like his game system down or something, and we ended up like watching a DVD or something. I don't remember, but he ended up putting something on the TV. And when he did that, we start to hear the intercom. Remind you, I just got off the phone with my stepfather. So we hear the intercom. First we heard stuff moving around downstairs. Like, and I'm not thinking anything of it, because I'm like, oh, well, my stepdad did say he was coming home, so maybe it's him. What I'm not going to do is go look. I ain't in a movie. I ain't going to go look. You got the right idea and the wrong girl. I ain't going to go look. We going to sit right here. And we had a gate, like, at the top of our steps. Like, one of them gates, you got to, like, press it. Wasn't, like, I wasn't going. And so me and my brother are sitting there, and the intercom, me, my brother, and my little sister were all sitting right there. And I'm like forcing my little sister to sit down because I'm scared I won't let her play. I don't want her going into like the different rooms. I want all of us to sit in the living room and not move. Don't go upstairs. Don't go downstairs. Don't go in the bathroom because I'm the oldest and I'm gonna have to fight. And I'm gonna have to figure it out. And I don't want to. So y'all gonna sit right here. So we're all sitting right there, and the intercom starts like ringing as if somebody's calling us from downstairs. Typically, we would just go over and answer it. Not today. Me, in my heart, I was like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. If it's mommy, well, I knew it wasn't my mom, but if it's my stepdad, he gonna say something. Like, he gonna press the button and he gonna talk. Well, you know, you press the button, it rings, it makes like a noise, and then when you go to talk, it like makes this noise, and then you can hear people talking. Like, it's like, let's say it was static, and then it's like a beep, and it clears so you could talk, right? So that happens, and next thing we hear, I'm gonna fucking kill you. A raspy voice talking about it's gonna kill us. White man. Okay, you could tell, you could tell. It was a white man, an old white man. But the voice was just so, to this day, like, I was so freaked out. I started crying because my thing is, in life, I'm not scared. We bleed the same blood, okay? One of us has to lose, okay? Entities, spirits. I can't punch a spirit. Can't shoot a spirit. Can't throw the remote at a spirit. That shit just gonna go through it. I can only pray. And at the time, my faith just wasn't as strong as it is now. But at the time, teenage Ray was over it. She was over it. She fuck the house, fuck my sister, fuck my brother. I'm leaving. I call my stepdad back and I'm hysterically crying. Like, couldn't get a word out. Boo-hoo. Crying. Like, please come home. Please. And he's like, what happened? And I was like, something just said. No, first I think I called and I was like so in shock. That's what happened. I was crying, but I was like, are you downstairs? And he was like, no, I'm still at the hospital. And I heard the hospital things. And I'm like, please don't play with me if you're playing. Like, this isn't, like, I'm not joking. Please don't play. And he was like, I'm not playing. I'm not there. And I bust out crying. I go onto the balcony because I don't want to be in the house anymore. So I go out onto the balcony. And low-key, I'm scared to be out there too. But I'd rather be out there than be on the house. And I'm talking to him and I'm telling him what happened. And I'm like, you need to come home. I don't want to be here anymore. If y'all don't come home, I'm calling MK to come get us. Because I don't want to be here. Like, so I'd rather just get in trouble for leaving and taking my sister with me than for staying. I'm going to make him come get all of us. Like, executive decision. And I'm choosing to get the fuck out this house. I'm crying and he's like, what? And I'm telling him, and he's like, all right. I'm coming home. And I'm like, hysterically crying, like, I don't want to be here. I called him. I'm trying to make him stay on the phone with me. He was like, I gotta get off the phone. So he gets off the phone. I call MK and I'm like, where are you at? Can you please come get me? Because fuck it, I don't know what time my stepdad coming home, so I need other options. I call MK and I'm like, can you please come get us? I'm telling him what happened. Some boyfriend I don't even think we were dating at the time, but some guy he laughing at me, talking to his friends. I'll never forget it. He was laughing and he was like, you really want me to come get you? And I was like, yeah. And he was talking to his friend. I actually think he did come out though. I take that back because I think he did make his friend drive him out there. And he was like talking to me from downstairs. Like, he didn't come in the house because, y'all, I was too scared to go let him in. And so I think my brother was going to let him in, but he was like talking to me from the balcony. Like, I'm on the balcony and he's in the car and he's like, are you okay? Like, da-da-da-da. And then he left. And I remember calling my grandparents, the ones I lived with. and telling them, and they were like, oh, we need I told you my grandparents were religious, so my grandma was like, we need to do an exorcism on that house and get you some holy water. Do you want to come back over here? And I'm like, yes I do, I want to come back over there. But then we're gonna wrap this story up. But then I got scared to go back over there because I was like, it could just follow me or something. And I was about to go to camp anyway. So I ended up not, I think I did go over to my grandma's for like a week. Like I stayed, but I didn't move back in with my grandma. And she was like trying to give me holy water. And I remember being scared to use the holy water because I was like, I'm scared to use it and like they get upset and like go bonkers. And like, spiritually, I just wasn't there yet. Like I just wasn't there. And I remember leaving. I remember that night sleep. My stepdad eventually came home, of course, and he like let us sleep downstairs. And my brother tried to pretend he wasn't scared. He was 14 at the time. He was definitely scared because we both slept in my mother and stepfather's room for like a month. No lie. I think I went to not band camp. I think I went to my college camp 2 weeks after that incident happened. But even when I came back, I did not want to sleep upstairs, and it was just me and my brother there. So like the house was kind of empty. Honestly believe that I still tried to sleep down there. My mom like was just not with it. She was like, girl, you're grown as hell, go upstairs. Like, get out of me my husband's room, go upstairs. And she did. Like, she was like, it's okay, it's whatever. Like, if you feed it, they kept saying, if you feed it fear, it gets like bigger and whatever. Like, you just got to pretend it's not there. And I was like, it told me I was going to die. What do you mean? And eventually I did have to live a whole nother year in that house. Was that? Yeah. Because I remember going back to school the next fall and telling everybody. I told everybody my business because sis was still scared a whole year later. And I did not ever like stay in the house there much. Like, just had this atmosphere about it. Funny thing is, I think the house used, like, we did research on the house, and it was used for like part of the railroad, like the Underground Railroad or something. I don't know if it was used to catch slaves or if it was used to help free them, but it was used in a part of that, which made sense because there was a lot of like hidden doorways and entryways and crawl spaces in our house. I remember me and my brothers and sisters was playing one day, and there was a mirror on the wall, and we didn't know that the mirror opened, but it did. The mirror opened, and behind it was like a bunch of clothes. And we showed my mom, and she was like, I didn't even know this was here. And whoever was there before us had left a bunch of stuff in it. But there were like crawl spaces everywhere, and like storage spaces, and just like random doors that led to other doors and led outside, but they were like under the house. Like, it was weird. Luckily I didn't have to be there that long. So my senior year of high school, I was a senior, so I would be at home sometimes. But there were also times that I would be gone from my house for days and weeks. And in the summer when I turned 18, you could not tell me nothing. I worked. Sis worked. Sis stopped staying home. And even now, my family still lives there. And when I go home now, I'm always like, y'all ain't moved yet. This house is haunted. Like, I say that probably 5 times a year. And my mom's always like, yeah, it still is. But, you know, they don't bother us. They're good ghosts. Oh, okay. That was the time I had a super huge paranormal, like, experience. And I don't wish it on anybody. And I think it was, like, one of my first and last, like, big experiences. But I hope you guys like the story. That's a little spooky treat for you guys, the ones who are into that. The next time we come back will be a little lighthearted. I think I have some more story times for you guys. I'm trying to get another try-on haul, and I'm going through my closet realizing I don't have many fall clothes. So we're going to get one of those and go from there. My son's birthday is coming up, so we'll have one of his birthday vlog coming up. So you guys will get to spend that with us too. And we're going to continue to grow over here. So, excuse me. If y'all made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a loyal viewer, letting it play in the background. Whatever you did, Bouge appreciates it. And I will catch you guys when we come back into our next one.